You can't feed the heart without food, so I want to make sure you have an abundance of heart-healthy food options. This is our new, and I hope you'll agree, improved website. We've tried to listen to you and incorporate features that will make it easier for you to find what you're looking for. Before I go anywhere, please be reassured that our old website is just a click away. If you scroll down to the footer, just click on Classic WEH site, and voila, you'll be right back to it. We'll leave our old website up for the unforeseeable future, but just be mindful we won't be updating it. To find all the free resources, simply click on the Explore button here under Explore the Rotation, or click on Rotation up here in the menu bar. And here you are at the rotation page. Let me walk you through it as though I'm a mom or a student looking for things to do today. The design of the website is for people who are making use of the rotation schedule to provide a framework for their study. If you aren't following the rotation, you'll just have to scroll through the months to find what you're looking for. But as a busy mom, I'm grateful for a little help in narrowing down my choices each month, and I can relax because I know we're going to get around to the whole world and everything in it if I stick with this. Let's say it's September, and so I'm going to enter month 1. At the top, I can quickly orient myself to the topics for the month and their connections to each other. I have a rhythm in place, like I talked about in the rhythm episode, so my basic academic skills are going to happen as part of the routine of the day. For my younger kids, it's a very small part of their day. I've decided I want to set aside about half an hour a day for using the forgotten classics. I'm going to divide that up, so we'll do about 20 minutes in the morning after breakfast, but I think I'll save some nature stories for after lunch. All the forgotten classics that pertain to this month's topics are laid out developmentally for me right here. That means for my younger children, I'll lean more towards the first books. But I know that my high schoolers will also enjoy fairy tales and epic and legendary heroes, so I'm not going to tell them to skip them just because they're older. The general rule is start at the beginning and make your way through. I can open the book up right here, and I can read a free digital copy on my phone or my tablet, or I can download it, or I can pull a hard copy from off of my shelf. And if you want to order hard copies, you can just get to the store by clicking on the Buy Forgotten Classic Books right here. But remember, and this is really important, this library is designed for exploration and discovery, not cover-to-cover reading. Skip around. There's a lot of layering and repetition happening naturally. So if I choose a book or story and start to read it and it completely misses the mark for my child, I can just close it up and pick another one. But I'll come back at another time because just because a child isn't ready now doesn't mean that he will never be ready. And stories can be read more than one time with new understanding each time. Don't make your way through the library like a machine. Now, in my pretend day, I'm going to have my older independent readers look through the reading record and see where they want to land today. While I encourage you to print out the entire reading record that includes all the stories from the Forgotten Classics, or you can buy a hard copy in our store, this monthly version makes it convenient to browse what's on this month's menu right here. I'll remind my kids to mark what they've read in their reading record so they can keep track of where they've been. In the full copy, there's even a page at the end of each month to list other books they've read that month that pertains to the topics. Now, in my imaginary family, I've got a toddler that needs some attention, but my kids are playing with Legos and are willing to listen to today's story, so I'm going to visit the audio section right here and see what I can find to listen to. Maybe I'll choose from my America Storybook or my World Storybook, or I'll see what's been posted in Belmont. Let me break away from my imaginary day and let you know I love reading to my grandkids. So I'm recording stories and books and posting them in Belmont. That's just the name I gave to my listening library. I'll be adding a lot of the forgotten classics going forward. So if your voice gets tired or you need a break or you just have too many kids at too many ages, just send some of them over to Grandma's. I'd love to read to them if they'll let me. Back to our day. I'm feeling like I need a little inspiration or suggestions of something to study, so I'm going to see what podcasts are posted in the podcast section that might inspire me to learn more about a certain person or to take a look at a certain book. I go to podcasts for inspiration. The essentials have now happened in our day, and there's a lot of day left. I'm now going to look to the enrichment section to see what we can add into our day. My kids love crafts, so I'm going to open the enrichment section for Scandinavia and see what ideas are there. I'm going to let my kids help choose. And if we need to shop for supplies, we'll plan on doing the craft in a couple of days. But we'll take a look and see what we want to do. On Friday night, I thought it would be fun to do a cultural night. We've been reading stories from Scandinavia, so I'm going to see if I can get some ideas for recipes right here on the enrichment page. And again, I'm going to let my kids help me pick out which ones we want to plan on cooking. Now I'm going to go to the art section and pick out some art that shows Scandinavian family life. And this is going to take me right to the Simple Joy art site. And maybe I'll print some out and I'll hang them on my wall. Or maybe I'll cast art images on my TV screen or put them on my digital photo album. Or maybe my kids will just enjoy scrolling through the gallery that's provided there. I'm going to make it full screen. And they can just click through. By the way, all the fine art is linked to Wikimedia Commons, where you can go and you can download it and you can use the art any way that you want. Maybe we'll even pick out a fine art image ahead of time and we'll recreate it as a family and take a picture of ourselves. If you watch the Unplanner video, there is a picture of my granddaughters recreating Las Meninas. So while we're eating our dinner, I want a little cultural ambiance going on in the background, so I'm just going to check out the music section. There's a lot of options here. Oh, here's some Swedish folk music. I think we'll play some Swedish folk music while we're eating. Or, well, here's some traditional Swedish accordion music. That could be fun. Or maybe while we're driving in the car, I'll just turn on some Swedish music and we'll get familiar with that. Or maybe I'm waiting for dinner to finish up and I have a few minutes, and so I think we'll just do an impromptu music appreciation session. So I'm going to go down here to the bottom of the page where there's music and story, and if I click underneath it, a story comes up from the North Carolina Youth Symphony programs, and it just gives me some ideas of a quick little thing I can tell about the musical piece that's here, and then we can watch it together. I can even cast it up on my TV screen to watch it together, but here's a few choices here. By the way, these stories are the same ones that are found in your Symphony Stories book. And now maybe I'll suggest to my kids that they put on a little play for Daddy when he gets home. So here's some plays that we can check out. And they can either do it as a reader's theater, or if they want to just get some ideas from the play, they can write their own play or just improvise it. It just gives them some ideas of things that they can do. Maybe I need my kids to be occupied for a couple of hours, and so I'll look in the movie section and see if there's a movie that has to do with this month's theme. If I make movies a treat, they may even be willing to watch one of the old-time movies. Maybe sometimes I'll look for an old version of a movie and then we'll watch the new one and compare the differences. I can click on any of these movies and it will take me to IMDb, where I can watch a trailer and read some reviews and check out the parental advisory section, get some ideas of where I can stream the music from. Sometimes my library will have movies in their system that I can't find somewhere else. And sometimes I've found hard to find movies in Internet Archive. Now, there were some things I knew where to find in the old website, but I'm having a hard time finding them in the new one. So if I go back to the main page, if I click on this little heart right here, it's going to take me back to the old website. It's the same thing. I can either click on the footer or I can click on the little heart, and it will take me right back to the old website. Now, actually, my kids are watching a movie and I want a little time to feed my own heart. So I'm going to click on the Mothers of Influence logo, and it's going to take me to resources especially just for me, like the Mothers University. And now here is the hidden treasure. I've saved the best for last. Where did all our big giant library go with the thousands of books all sorted out? They are tucked away in biblioguides. I wish I could have offered this to you from the very beginning. This database of books is a dream come true for lovers of books and for parents who want a wholesome library to send their children to. More than half of the books are available as free instant digital reads, but there are also many titles that you may very well find in your local library. I'm afraid there's a lot in the library I don't want my kids to read, but this will point you to some really good options. So let's go inside. Now, there is a small fee to access these books. It can be as little as $6 a month. While I offer all of these many resources to you for free, it is not free at all for me to provide them for you. Signing up for biblioguides is one way you can help support the work of Well-Educated Heart. But I don't want that fee to keep any of you out. I know budgets can be tight. If it is impossible to pay, reach out to me. Tell me what's going on, and we'll see if we can help you. You'll have a free 7-day trial to look around. Now, please be aware, if you join through the Well-Educated Heart portal, which I just took you through by clicking on biblioguides in the website, then a portion of your membership will come back to support the work of Well-Educated Heart. But if you join through the main portal, we will not receive anything. Now, I'm already signed in, so you can see what I see. There are several video tutorials to help you take advantage of the many features available to you. There's so much for you to learn about and explore at this site. You may want to start with the one that's in Section 5 of Catch the Vision. Not only our books are here, but there's many other trusted guides that have included their treasured finds, such as Heritage Mom, Life-Giving Motherhood, Picture Book Preschool, Plumfield and Padea, Toll Liege, formerly the Potato Peel Society, and there's more on the way. This is an incredible library for your family. If you want to see if there's a certain book here, or if you want to look up an author, you might want to just go to the quick search and you can find it very easily. But I want to take you to the advanced search, because in the advanced search, you're going to find the parameters that are familiar to you that we use here in the Well-Educated Heart. And you can decide if you only want books that I've recommended or if you want to leave it open to other books, because I am in the process of going through all the other guides and finding books and tagging them according to month and the other parameters that I use. That's an ongoing work here. But we're in month 1, so I'm just going to choose, I want to see all the books that are available for a month 1 topic. So I'll submit that. And look, I've got 274 possibilities to choose from. Whoa, that's way too many for me. So I'm going to go back to the advanced search. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to pick some more parameters. So we're in month 1, but I also, Let's see, I can choose biographies, classic lit, cultural. Let's do a fiction. And I want to make it from Scandinavia. So we'll pick Scandinavia here. Now, if I want to, I can even narrow the search more by choosing one of these interest levels, but I'm just going to leave that open for right now. I'm going to submit and see what comes up. Oh, here's some books to try out. And for many of them, you'll see that it even tells you the time period that the book takes place in. So let's go and look at the Golden Name Day. This is going to give me a lot of information. Up here, it's going to tell who else is recommending the book. And it tells me that there are copies in print, that I can buy a copy, or I might go to the library and check it out. But look, there is a free online version, so that's going to be really helpful. There's a lot of information about the book if I need to know more about it. And if I want to hold on to this book, I've decided, yes, this is a book we want to read, I can just add it to my list. I can make it part of my wish list. I can make it a part of the books that I've ordered. If I've decided to buy it, I can keep track of it. This is where I can start putting books that I own. You know, you forget about what books are on your shelf. So this will remind you if you pull up a book of, hey, I already own that book. So you can create those lists. You can keep track of books that you've read. And there's even ways to make plans, reading plans for your kids. A lot of powerful features. So I know one thing a lot of people have been asking me for is they want books with more diversity in it. And since I mostly have done public domain books, I just haven't had those books to send you to. But now, because I can access some of the other books that are within this database, you can look. Let's say we want to have some books of African Americans. That's a month 8 topic. And I just want some picture books for my little kids. And I want to narrow it down. I want a picture book about African Americans. Now I'll submit that. Look, I've got 92 options to choose from. And here's all the years that they take place. And this even tells me the reading level. This one looks interesting. Opally. It's in print. That's good. Oh, there's an audiobook. That will be really nice. Heritage Mom recommends that. That sounds like a good one. I'm going to add it to my list. So you can see there are a lot of features, a lot of ways to narrow down searches by gender, by age, religion, character traits. You can narrow it down by time periods, decades, illustrations. There's even a place here. So I know a lot of you love The Good and the Beautiful, and I do too, and they are republishing a lot of really, really great books. And so I've been going through and I've started tagging them and putting tags on so that you can fit them in the rotation schedule. So if you're getting Good and Beautiful books and you want to know if there's one that will fit in this month's rotation, just be sure in the publisher field to add in The Good and the Beautiful, and it's going to pull up those books that fit into the rotation that month. So do take the time to go and learn how to use all the features of this amazing resource for you. This is a huge undertaking, and I will continue to add fabulous finds to this database, tagging them in the ways that are familiar to you from the old website. This makes it possible for me to easily add titles that were cumbersome for me to add before. In fact, often I had a book that fit in several categories, but I didn't want to list them in every one. This makes it possible for me to tag a book and it will pop up in a number of different places, which will be a huge benefit to you. In time, I'm also going to be able to take you to stories within collections of stories. Just keep your eye on this. This is going to be amazing. It's already amazing. Many of you are concerned about the trends in public library options. This database gives you another choice. Oh, what a privileged generation we are if we will just step up to what has been given to us. I've only offered you a brief tour of this amazing database, so keep exploring. Like I said, it's a dream library of books. So there you have it. everything that you need to create a heart-based home learning environment is there for the taking. The heirloom stories of the ages, music, art, plays, movies, crafts, food, and thousands of wholesome books to choose from to nourish hearts and souls. There's no need to create lavish lesson plans. You can just open and go. It's all delicious and very nutritious. Feast away, and then branch out and take advantage of all that's out there waiting for anyone who is interested enough to find it. One more thing, my daughter's been helping her girls get familiar with the new site, so she created a little bingo game for them to work through. When they get a bingo, they go out for ice cream or something like that. She shared the one she did, but she also created a blank one with suggestions that you can add to customize your own, and it's linked here in section 5. I hope you'll give it a try.